Hello everyone, another video. This one is mainly going to be about adding assignments to your classroom. Probably a pretty important one. It may get a little longer because there's a few different ways of doing it. I think I'm going to go over like 5 different ways, so maybe be a video that you want to pause every now and then and come back to later. I think I'm also going to show you how to add the class materials and maybe a different tab on the top of your general channel. So, all right, so let's start looking at how we're going to add assignments. So here's my teams. Some of you that are in maybe some of my other fake classes have been seeing I've been adding stuff and things like that, just practicing some of the stuff. So I'm going to add it into my fake math class 4th hour. So if I go into this teams, early on, if you haven't set up a couple of these things, I'm going to right now add some class materials before I get into the assignment stuff. This I just noticed I haven't looked into that. That might be something to find some other answers on how to add things and stuff of if it's things I haven't covered yet. But when you open your team, you'll be in the general channel, and then there's this little link here called upload class materials, which would also be found up here, but they make it kind of stand out right here right away until you add something. So what I'm going to do is show you what I would add in here, but it's kind of just, kind of maybe like the syllabus or a calendar, kind of things that you would reference, more than once, or kind of main things for the class. So if we click that, it comes to here. Now you could just, right now we're in the files and you could put it in here, but they kind of made this folder for class materials. So I'm going to open that. And now I'm going to hit upload, and I'm going to upload files, and it will open a window like this. I made a folder just for some of this stuff. So this is just examples from my summer class. So I could add a syllabus. And so, again, I got a slow computer at home, so it takes a little time, but it's uploading that. Again, if I wanted to add, I had what I call a textbook for summer. So I can add that. And you can just kind of keep doing this. I could add my workbook in there and also, but since this is taking a little time, I will just stop at that. Again, if you're doing this at school or if you have better internet, it should go a lot faster than what it's doing right now. Let me just go to the post, and it should still do that in the background. So that's adding class materials. So if I go to the student view, so now this is be my class, and I go into files, I go to class materials. There are the two things I just added. Okay. I go back to teacher view. That should show up automatically, but you could always in the post here say I posted syllabus and textbook in files under class materials. And then they should see all that and they could go and find that. I guess other ways you could do it is put a you could attach those right into this conversation, but then that's going to get lost over time as you have more discussions and things like that. So that's how to add the class materials. Next, we will do assignments. So there's two ways to get to adding assignments. There's assignments tab here, and then also up here, there's assignments. If you click on this one, it'll automatically go into this class. If you click on the side one, you'll have to choose a class from here. So I'm going to choose, and I think you can choose, maybe you can't choose more than one. No, just one at a time. So I'm going to choose my 4th hour class. Okay. And I'm going to hit create. Now there's a couple different things you can do here. Right now, I'm just going to go on assignment. If you use the same format for a lot of assignments, and this could be something you can look at in the future, you could choose from existing, and then you can choose an old assignment and then just make some changes to that. So I'm just going to click on assignment. Okay, so for your assignment, I'm going to go over probably 5 different ways of doing this. There's quite a few different ways. Always give it a title, and I'm just going to call this math question. First way is you can just write instructions here. So if I just said write a short paragraph on how you used math this summer, use the blank Word doc attached. So if it's something really short for instructions, you can just do it right in here. And now you're going to add a resource. And because I said I'm just going to include a blank Word document, I'm going to hit new file, hit that, and label it summer math question blank or something like that. Now, one thing you want to look at, and I don't know if there's a way to change the default on this or not. Right now it says students can't edit. That means they're just going to get a blank Word doc and they can't do anything with it. So you would click here, right, and click on students edit their own copy. Okay, you make this worth any points that you want. You can add grading rubrics in here. I don't think we're going to worry about that at this time, because I don't think everyone would use that, but that's something we can add later. It's going to be assigned to the 4th hour class. Right now it's to all students. We'll talk about that later. This little note here, it says don't assign to students added to this class in the future. So that means if this is the first week of school and someone comes in 3 weeks late, if you don't care about this assignment, then you would just leave it at that. If you wanted anyone that comes in the quarter to do this assignment, you would click here. So you'd assign anytime the new student added, they're going to have this assignment show up. I'm just going to leave it on not due date. Click the calendar. I can click Friday, August 21st. Right now, this is set to have assignment will post immediately with late turn-ins allowed. So it's due on the 21st, but they can turn it in after, and maybe you dock them points or whatever. If you want to change either one of those things, you can change it here. You could schedule this. Okay, so right now it's Wednesday at 2:13 in the afternoon, but if I want this to go out on Thursday, I can click here and it'll post at 9 a.m. Okay, the due date is just what I already clicked. You can change the time. That's 11:59 p.m. What the close date is even though we allow late turn-ins, This is the due date, maybe for full credit, and you're allowing late turn-ins. But if you want a for sure set date for them that they can't turn it in, you know, maybe I don't remember what mid-quarter is exactly, or quarter, whatever it is, but that means, or if that's the day we grade, maybe I want to go there, and that means you absolutely can't even turn it in after that for even partial credit. Okay, so I hit done. Okay, post assignment notifications to this channel, so you could change that if it was a small group or something, you could change that. But right now it's just going to go in the general, and I'm going to hit schedule. I don't think it should take this long. Let me go to the student view and see if it shows up. Well, it has not showed up there yet. I was going to show you that page. Let's see here. So you should post in here if it goes through. Oh, I know the problem. I scheduled it for tomorrow, so we'll next one we do, we won't schedule it. Or let me just show you this right now. I can go in. Let's say I want it to go immediately, so this would be something I was going to show in the anyways. So as a teacher, you can go in your assignments. Here it is, summer math question assignment I just made. It's assigned, but I scheduled it for tomorrow. Let's say, well, I want to get this out right now. You can click on any assignment and edit the assignment. So I want to change let's see here. I guess it's not letting me. This is something I haven't had to do yet, was adjust when it's scheduled for. I'll have to look at that and see. It's not letting me. Oh, right here, edit, right there. So instead of that, I'm going to hit, I don't want it to schedule it. I want it to go right now. Done. I still have that close date. Now instead of schedule right here, it'll say assign. Okay, and now it should pop up here soon. And I go to assignments. Okay, now it says assigned, not scheduled. Okay, and there it popped up. So it took a little bit to come up. So now I'm going to go to what the student would see. Okay, so student on their posts, it says there's a new assignment, summer math question, and they can either click right here or they can go up here and click on assignments, and all the assignments will show up here. Okay, so they would go in here. Now what they will see is instructions, write a short paragraph on how you use math this summer, use the blank Word doc attached. So what they will have to do, and this may be something we have to show kids, maybe they don't get it right away, they might try adding here, but that's the add a file. They're going to click on this and Microsoft Word will pop up, so they don't need it on their, you know, if they're doing this on their phone or their computer, they don't have Word, it'll come online and they will say the summer $8 worth of fireworks with a $100 bill. And got $20 change. There's my summer math. So they'd be done. They'd hit close. Shows their work here. You're going to hit close again. And now they can hit turn in. Okay, so that's what the student does. Now I won't go through this process with every one of these type of assignments, but now if we go back to my teacher view, okay, I will go into assignments and I will be able to see who has viewed the assignments, who has turned them in. So I click on the assignment that I just made. So the people in this class, they have not turned it in yet. This is my other email, so I could join this class as a student. It says turned in. So if I see they turn it in and I want to grade it, you click on turned in. Okay. You would enter whatever feedback you'd want to enter in here. You could write well short, but we did what was asked. Maybe I didn't ask a good question. You can give whatever points you want on it, and it automatically sends it back to them. And you could write something like, you know, please add a little bit more to get more points or whatever. Now that doesn't show up here anymore. Okay. It would be, it shows 1 of 5 turned in. I don't know why it doesn't show up here. I'll have to look into that. But on here, if you go to grades, it shows that I got 9 out of 10 on that assignment. Okay, so that's one way to add an assignment. So this is what I'm talking about. This one can get a little long, but that's probably not the way everyone's gonna send assignments, but that's one way. So if you're a little overwhelmed right now, hit pause, come back later. The next way, I'm going to add basically the same assignment, but show you a different way of doing it. So again, you could click over here, but if I'm in this class, the other way you could add assignment, let's go to assignments here. I'm just going to show you your assignments that you've had already. You can hit create. Again, you can choose here. I'm going to click a new assignment. Okay. I'm just going to go math question. I'll call it math question 2, even though it's going to be the same thing. Just going to instructions, follow directions on the Word document. Okay. And now I'm going to add a resource. So if I have something on my computer that I've made that I want to add here, I go upload from this device, and then you'd have to go through your menus and find it. So I made a little Word document that says summer math assignment. So I'm going to click open. Done. Again, I want this so they can edit their own copy. Now, if you are worried about them changing, like, and we'll take a look at this in a second, but if you're worried about them changing the question, because this is just a Word document and they're going to write their answers in there, but technically, because it's on a Word document, they could change the question. So if you want to make sure there's proof of what the question actually was, you can do this again. You can add the exact same thing. And then keep this as students, or right, it showed up down here, students can't edit. So you have one where they can write right on it. This is the same one, but it shows the actual real directions. If you're ever worried about them changing something, changing the question or saying, well, it said this or whatever. And now you'd go through, I don't need to take a long time on this stuff, but again, you add whatever many points you want. It's going to go to 4th hour. Don't assign to students. If I want to change that, if this is something I want someone to do, no matter when they join the class, I click there. Due date, again, you could change this anytime. If you don't change this, if you don't put a close date, it's just going to allow turn-ins whenever, as long as this team is open in this class. So that's probably what I will do most of the time. I'll go over this again, is put a close date on whenever the next grading period would end. So if this was going to end October 9th, I would close it then, so they can't turn it in after that. Hit assign. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the teacher view. We'll give it a second here to post, and we'll go to the student view. Now you could have added that one without the 2 different Word documents, but then there's just a chance, if you leave it open for them to edit and don't put a reference one, that they could change the question. All right, so now let's go back to the student view. Okay, so I'm going to, now again, it shows up here. So I don't need to go up here. The student can go, oh, there's a new assignment. I'm gonna click view assignment. Now what they see here is the one that I put on as they cannot edit comes up as a reference material. This is the exact same, but now they can add the work on it. But the reason I put this one on there is just so that if they happen to accidentally change something or anything like that, there's proof of what the assignment actually was. So what they would do here is click on here. And so here, instead of having the directions in the instructions to the assignment, it says this assignment name here, fake class. Now I'd done this before, so this is 4th hour, but I would have that set up properly. And then the directions are right here. You know, type the paragraph. So I would type my paragraph about fireworks, blah, blah, blah. And hit close. It takes a little bit of time. Okay. And now they look at this and say, okay, I did my work, and they don't have to hit save or anything. It automatically saves. They hit turn in. Okay. If they made a mistake, they can hit that quick, undo. I'll go back to the teacher view. If I want to, I think it'll take a second here. Go back to my assignments, and again, I can go, oh, someone turned one in. I won't go through all this process again, but you click on that and it'll automatically pop up the Word document that the student created. So see on the other page, I wrote fireworks, ... and it's there. Okay. If I just want to see they did it, I don't want to do feedback yet and send it back, I just hit close. It hasn't been graded yet, it hasn't been returned yet. Okay. Let's go back. The next type is a type that I would probably use a bunch, adding a different attachment and then having them have a couple different ways to send back. So again, if I'm in this class, assignments, it shows the assignments you created already. I'm going to create a new one. Okay. title. Math test. Could be, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make one thing different. Do it for a specific person. So now here I'm going to say complete the attached test and write your answers. Either write your answers and show your work on the attached Word document, or do your work on a right sheet of paper and send me a pic. Okay, and enter there. So I'm gonna, now I gotta add my resources. So I got to upload the test. So I didn't throw that in here, so I gotta find. Yeah, I don't want to open it. So I'm attaching a PDF. And again, takes a while. Okay, done. Now I also said that one of their options could be attach their answers to the Word doc. So again, I'm going to go back to here. And I got an answer sheet that I previously made up. Add that. There's 4 questions there, so I'll make it that. Now, here's the one difference is if you send out individual work, it's going to assign to this class, but usually everything we've done so far is all students. Now I can pick out any number of students here. I'm just going to pick out my fake student. Okay, I can make this due this weekend, late turn-ins allowed, and I'm going to hit assign. I'm going to use my old phone to do the answers for this. So that's attaching. I'm sorry, you're going to hear my daughter in a second because I want her to get something for me. And so this is loading right now still. Okay, so I think this one's taking a little bit longer because it's got a PDF. Let's go to the student page and see if it's here yet. Okay, it's not showing up yet, so give it a second. So I guess with a PDF, it's going to take a little longer. This is good video right here. Still not coming up. Let me go back to the teacher view and see what's going on. Okay. Oh, so this is, I'm back in the student view and it did finally come through. So in the teacher view, didn't get posted yet. That'll usually post there. But now I'm back in the student view. So they could open this. Here is the test. So, oh, and I see one thing I did wrong here. Here's the test. I forgot to change that they could edit. So this is that they could edit the sheet. So if I go back, so this is where I told you this video could get really long and things like that. There's a lot of things in this, so take time and you know, pause and go back. So if I made that mistake, I'm going to go back. I'm in the teacher view. I'm going to edit this assignment. So this is what I mean. I didn't make it so they could edit this. So if you made that mistake and a student says I can't write on there, then you got to go back in here. You're going to update that. Okay, let me go to my student view. Go back. We'll see if that updated. So now it updated. So now they could go, they can open their test. Okay, and again, it's a PDF, but it should open right in Teams for them. Okay, and they can zoom in so they can read that. Okay, so now they could read this on here, do the work on a separate sheet of paper, and then they could take a picture of that. And I'm going to do that on my old phone here. And I'm going to, so like you can't really see this on screen right now, but this is, they could use their phone. They would do it on a separate sheet. What they would do on their phone is they would click this add work attachment. They'd have a chance to upload from the device, from their photo, or they even could say just take a photo. So I'm doing that from my phone right now. Again, on their phone, they can hit turn in. And sometimes it takes a little time because it's loading a photo. So again, this was just sent out to one person. So if you do individual work, that was the difference in this one. Now that looks like it was turned in. So I'm going to go to my teacher. Assignments. And you go, so I only assigned that to one person. That person turned it in. So I'm going to go here, click on turned in. And here's the photo of their answers. So again, you could go through good work, but no work shown, or something like that. And so they didn't show work, they get half, and you can hit return, and you could write something like show your work and turn in again, or anything like that that you would want to write back to them. So that is, I think, the third type of assignment we've added. Again, if this is getting a lot, pause it here, come back later. I'm going to do one more way to add an assignment. So I'm in my teacher view right here. This would be kind of the main one. I don't know why those, oh, maybe those last ones didn't show up here because it was to an individual student. So I think that's maybe why it didn't show up in my teacher chat, in the general chat. So I'm going to do one more here. This could be a very useful one if you're going to do like a video lesson and attach a video or something like that. So I'm going to go again. This part you should be getting down. You click on assignments. You'll see the assignments you've had. Bottom of that screen, you'll hit create. I'm going to create an assignment. Label the title, Money Math Objective 1. Watch the lesson for Objective 1 and complete the Objective 1 workbook page. Remember to show your work and send me a pic of, or send me a pic when completed. There's the instructions. So now this time, the resource that I'm going to add isn't a file yet. It's going to be a video. So if I go here, and you can go to whatever page you're on. I think I actually have to, well, maybe open that. So you could either do this on YouTube or you can copy the URL up there. So now I go back to the Teams. I'm going to add the resource. I go to a link. If you're going to type in a web address, make sure it has this. They're really strict on this beginning part here, but I think if I paste, it's going to have that in there. Again, you could add this. You don't have to add description here, but it's YouTube lesson Objective 1. Attach. Okay. And then I said complete Objective 1 workbook page. Now that depends how you run your class. I had a workbook for the class, but maybe I don't expect them to open that as something. And if I want to make sure they can find it right away, I could go in here. And I had previously had saved just that first page, so I'd open that. I'm going to hit done. Okay, now go through and do all this other stuff, just like in the other ones. Give it points, assign it to all students or pick out a group of students. This is whether or not to assign it to anyone that comes in the future or not. Due date, you may want to change that. Again, you could go through, this is going to post immediately. So you could schedule it by clicking this. I'm just going to leave it here so it posts immediately. Close date, again, that's if you want a strict cutoff, even if you take late work, if there's a strict cutoff, they can't turn it in anymore. You'd hit there. And then you can hit assign. I didn't have any type of attachment this time where they could change the answers or anything. I have a video and a PDF, so I didn't have to worry about that. Hit assign. Okay, it shows up here. It gives a notice in the posts. Now I'm going to go to the student view. So when they log in and go to the general, it said, oh, new assignment, Money Math Objective 1. Okay. So now when they get, so this is their view. Okay. So you've attached a video. So they would click there. It'll open a new tab. You go through, watch the video. Okay. So they click play on that and watch that video. They go back. They open this page, the workbook page, and good. So that should be rotated like that. I mean, that's the little things we might have to figure out how to show them. That when I put this in here, it was this way. It wasn't the other way that it just was. But to know that they should hit this, or even something like this to make it bigger. But there's the work. They would do it. I didn't do any of this work or take a picture of it, but they would do their work, take a pic of it, attach it back, and then they would hit turn in. I'm not going to turn anything in because I didn't add any work here. But those are the kind of the main ways of making an assignment. I know that was a lot. If you have questions, let me know. And I think I was going to show one more thing, even since this is already a long video. So this is the student view. I'm going to go last thing. If up on these files, if you ever want to add anything here, you can add tabs up here. We have the posts, the files, which I showed you. You can add anything in there. There's going to be class materials that we added earlier and other files that you shared, like within your posts, they'll show up there. Class notebook, I won't get into that now, but that's another place where you can share like notes. It could be like a journal type thing. That's going to be, that has to be a whole nother post itself. Then here's assignments and grades. If you ever want to add anything in up here, like certain information or anything, like for me, I have all this summer I had all my videos excuse me, on one list here. I had a whole big playlist. So if I wanted that, so in easy access for them, I could put it in the chat, but then again, as they chat, it's going to move up. So I could add that right up here. So here's, and I haven't even got into all this stuff yet, but you can add a bunch of things up top. But if you want, if there's a certain website you guys use or whatever, you click website. That I paste that there, save. Okay, and now for some reason, this one doesn't go directly to it. I'll show you another one here. And maybe because YouTube has its own app that you can add up here, but all they would do is click this, go to the site, and that page opens up with all my videos on it. Okay. So again, if, let me do one more example. Yeah, pulled this up. So you copy a website. You can hit add if it's going to be a website. And again, there's tons of other things that we'll have to look in later and how to add up here, but I just knew some people use the website thing a lot. This is just an old training website. And we'll see if this works without the S in there. No, it's not. So let's see. And now this one actually opens up right here for them. So they could go directly from looking at something in the posts. They go here. Oh, I want to go to that website. It's right there. So that's it for this long video. If there's any questions, let me know. Still going.